Hey guys, this is Fiesta Pain. I'm doing a late night video. I picked up the Boomba rear motor mount from one of the guys from the ST group on Facebook that I'm local with, and I just figured I'd do a quick video. I know I know Boomba does a video already of this, but I just wanted to do my own video. You know, when you don't have a lift kind of deal, using ramps right now. So as you can see right over here, got the old stock motor mount. I have about 37,000 miles on the original one. I don't know why I didn't do this any sooner, but just finally getting around to doing it. You know, of course, here is the Boomba, you know, rear motor mount right here. There's the main part, and then we have the plate here that goes over the side of it. So, what you need to do the job, it's very simple. Just need a ratchet, an extension preferably, makes it a little easier for you, and a 13mm socket. There we go. Of course, these ones are on pretty good, especially after 37,000 miles. Oh yeah, she was on there pretty good. The bolts you'll be reusing, you're just replacing obviously the main part of the rear motor mount, as well as this little plate here. You'll see what we're going to do in just a moment here. So let's get these cracked free. Oh, she was on there pretty good. Well, I guess the ratchet I have is junk. It's not meant for this kind of power. Oh, there she's starting to go again. Must be a couple bad teeth on the ratchet. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Can't win them all. So we got those two loosened up. So we got these two right here. These ones aren't as bad as those other ones, man. Holy. They required a little bit of strength to get out. That one felt like it just almost wanted to come out. Let's take these off real quick. These are only a couple nuts right here. So again, excuse me for doing this at nighttime. I can never seem to have any time to do it during the day, where the lighting's a little bit more ideal for you guys, so that we can see it a little bit better. But hopefully my lighting is good enough for you. So, but I don't drive the car during the winter time up here. Living up in New York State, rust everything, good stuff, you know what I mean? Great for keeping the roads clear, but not for keeping your cars for long periods of time. So what you have here is just a little bit of the rust that you just normally get. That's common, you know, on most vehicles in most areas. I know after I get done doing this video, I'll be doing driving, you know, with the new motor mount, but I won't do that until there's daytime, so that way it's a little bit nicer for you guys. At least this way you'll have this video here just to kind of see what it's like to do it by yourself with hand tools instead of being in a shop. You know, having a lift and having power tools is always a nice thing, but not all of us are blessed, you know, with such nice items. That's what it is, and just gotta make do with what we can do. Of course, the motor's nice and toasty warm because I was driving it not so long ago. But nothing that's gonna burn me hot. At least while you're down here too, isn't that good time to check all your charge, you know, pipes, and make sure all the clamps are nice and tight. Because you know, Ford likes to use the cheap clamps here, so let's make sure, you know, all the rubber hoses are nice and tight. I went through and I checked them, made sure everything was all nice and tight, you know, so you know, don't forget to get all the hard to get spaces up in here. Make sure everything's nice and tight. If you have aftermarket pipes and stuff too, you know, when you first set them, make sure you go through them one more time later on at a later point, and make sure they're nice and tight to ensure everything's good to go. So get that piece out of the way. Looking good so far. Probably take the extension back off, but I'll get to that in just a moment after I get these other bolts out of here. And it probably wouldn't hurt if I sprayed them up with like some WD-40 or PB Blaster or some kind of spray catalyst. I would have made them come out just a little nicer, but that's alright. If we're not driving the car in winter time, it's not like they're impossible to remove. And at some point I know I want to do a nice turbo back exhaust on this, but until that time comes I'll have to wait. So I don't know if you can see, but I have my I got a this little resonator delete going on. Nothing fancy. I did that myself as well with Brendo SP in his yard using his ramps at the time. But it loudens it up just a tad. Was thinking of doing like some kind of muffler delete, or even just some kind of cheesy aftermarket muffler or something, just to give it a little bit more rumble. But yeah, maybe I'll just wait till I get a nice thing going on for me. Alrighty. Most of the bolts are off. I still gotta take that bracket off right there. And a couple more bolts right here. Probably should have loosened these up before disconnected the motor mount all the way. I want to make things just that tad nicer. But nobody's perfect. Everybody likes to watch other people's videos and them struggling and learning from their their issues that they've had. It's not really much of an issue. It's pretty straightforward, but I was debating, looking at the nice Cobb and or other motor mounts, and like I said, I picked this one up from one of the members in our ST group locally, and he had it at a fair price, and couldn't go wrong. I didn't have to pay full price for a brand new unit. He said he only had this on his vehicle for probably like 3,000 miles or so, and I'm cool with that. So it's barely used, barely broken in. So your stock motor mount, it's got big giant gaping holes, not really meant for putting very much power through. It's already starting to show signs of it softening up and rotting away a little bit in here. It's kind of hard to see, but when I pull it out, from underneath the vehicle, I'll get a quicker or a better look at it, I'd rather. And for the most part, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Everybody loves straightforward stuff. So we're just gonna set it up in there. Just get the bolts just in place. Not gonna put anything down just yet. We got a little ways to go. That's the wrong bolt. That's the one that holds that one up here. So we'll get that lined up. Just get it started. Just hold things in place. Nothing crazy. There's other parts I gotta put on it. So I'll get this one. Get this one all up in there. Nice and pretty black. There she goes. Sometimes you may have to just kind of move the engine by hand a little bit just to kind of get things a little bit more lined up, but this one didn't really have to do very much. Oh, cool. That's cool. Cool with things going a little bit easier than what they're supposed to be. And there she goes there. Excellent. So now we gotta get the nice little bracket piece going on in here. So it's going to go just like so. So the Boomba faces upright. I mean, probably is upright for you, upside down for me, of course. And here, now we'll get that nice long bolt up in there. Engine moves pretty freely once this is out, so it's not like you need a lot of strength to move it. You know, you can see it's just me just tapping it a little bit, basically. And things are moving away, all nice and pretty-like. And we'll up and goes in the back here. The one with the elongated kind of cowl there goes back here. The same thing, line up the holes, get them started. Just kind of get it down near hand tight, basically, in case you need to have that little extra wiggle room, just to give it that little extra movement if necessary to line up other bolts. Yeah, well, looking good so far, looking good. I'm already almost done, believe it or not. Doesn't look like it, I guess, but really it's just a time taken just to tighten up the bolts, you know what I mean. So we'll flip the ratchet around, drive this one in there. It's a really long bolt, so. Alrighty, so she's almost tight. We'll come back around and we'll check the tightness before we drive it down the road, because you know how that works. You don't want to have your shit not tightened down all the way and lose bolts or anything. I'd hate to say, you know, I have to go back to the Ford dealership just to buy this motor mount bolt because I was stupid enough and I didn't tighten anything down. You know, they're probably looking at you like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" or "What were you doing?" You know, give you that kind of funny look. These two right down here, you can tighten these ones down pretty good once you get it in there, because you're going to be putting a nut on the end of them. So you need these ones down nice and tight to begin with. So nice and tight. We'll do these ones nice and tight now too, because I won't be coming back to do this piece here. This one as well. And give it a nice little extra oomph. Give it all you get. It's aluminum, but you know, again, would you want to lose it? No, definitely not. Alright, so we'll put our converter hanger piece back up here. We'll get the nuts for that. Just same thing, just kind of get things started. Nothing tightened down yet. And then we get that nice little exhaust washer like object. It doesn't matter in which direction it went or how it goes. It just simply slides over the studs, holds that in place. You get the nuts for that as well. And you just kind of get them started. Nothing, not crazy yet. For this one here, I'm going to tighten down the ones here, the ones that actually go to the converter bracket piece there, and then I'm going to come back and get these, because these are on a slot. So by tightening these ones up here, it should pull this bracket in its general location where it should kind of be, and then once that's done, then we'll come back and tighten these up. That way they're nice and snuggety tight. Well, as you can see, this whole job doesn't take much. It's just your basic hand tool and a 13mm, like I said, extension. Makes it a little easier, brings it down low enough where you can get a little more power out of it. The extension I'm using is a typical 8-inch extension. It's everywhere. If you don't have any tools, you can probably borrow some, or pick up a set if you really need to. Probably recommend buying a set of metric, because everything almost nowadays on like a lot of vehicles is metric. And you know, if you don't have a metric set, you can't do anything. You know, standards don't really work too well unless you want to start stripping your nuts out, because didn't have the right stuff. You know what I mean? And, like I said, I know this ratchet's kind of starting to get a little fussy because I know it's bad. It needs to be replaced. It's a Craftsman, so it's a guaranteed thing. But it ain't busting my knuckle yet, so I guess we're good still. So nice and snugged up tight. We'll lose the extension and come back to these guys down here. And we'll zip these all the way up. And then we should be all set because we already tightened all the other stuff. So I was saying about tightening up the studs first because you can't go back and tighten them up unless you take this exhaust bracket back off, and who wants to go back and do more work twice? So that's all I'm saying, really. Same thing, we'll nice and snug it up. And snug this one yonder, and then we'll be zipping on the road with a Boomba rear motor mount, giving that a little extra stiffness to the motor. There's at least one other thing too to point out. I know when you go into any aftermarket rear motor mounts, it's also a good idea if you decide to start going tuning more to you know, they offer you like an RPM if you do purchase them, or if you tune it yourself you may want to raise up the idle a little bit. They say about 1,000 RPM helps eliminate some of the vibration. So, you know, that's also a good thing to think about, you know, when you do upgrade to something like this. Any kind of, you know, stiffer. And that's it, really. So, well, as you see, and I got the dog across the street that's bigger than hell, and he's scary as fuck. So, anyways, well, that's it. You know, it's anodized red. It matches my nifty little Boomba blow-off valve adapter right back there. Woohoo! Yeah! Horsepower! Alright, guys.